Andy Burnham. What we know about Andy Burnham's policies, what he's going to do tomorrow as our Prime Minister, who is going to be in his cabinet. That's the conversation we're having today. To say that I am very, very happy with some of the first things that Andy Burnham has said or innuendoed, the changes he's looking to make, I can actually put my teeth into his policies, which is something you couldn't say about Keir Starmer.
Keir Starmer kept backpedaling. What the fuck are you?
It wasn't just backpedaling. The man had no vision for his future. I mean,
hang on. He did. It's called tax.
Good news for you, Rachel Reeves is leaving her office.
Bye.
She might
farewell, fellow tax person.
She might be going into another role in Burnham's government,
but she ain't in control of the fucking finances.
We don't know what Burnham's top picks are yet. We will find that out tomorrow. I suspect Mahmood might be the Chancellor.
Even though she hasn't, as everyone the extreme right wing keeps saying, she hasn't got the experience. Still better than Miliband.
Yep, still better than Miliband. Anybody's better than Miliband. He puts Miliband, that's it. But the next week when we do our next podcast, it's all fucking guns out, knives included.
Mr. Oh yes, I want to solve everything, but I won't let you do anything to solve anything.
Devolving Power. Burnham has promised the biggest ever rebalance of power away from Whitehall, with English regions handed more control in areas including housing, transport by a new number 10 unit based in Manchester. The unit would be tasked with promoting equality living conditions across Britain, borrowing from ideas like the German Constitution. He has also promised new opportunities to extend existing devolution settlements in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland by taking powers deeper down. This could be an area where he looks to build on the policies of the Starmer government, which was in the process of extending regional mayor and beyond the main urban areas of England. Now, I don't necessarily think devolved power is such a bad idea. I don't think it's the breadwinner whistle that he thinks it is.
And there's things basically saying you still have to follow the main main government, but we're giving you more control over your local area, so you can boost up your local area. Now, see, that to me is a step in the correct direction.
Yeah, I think far more importantly, Andy Burnham has indicated very clearly he wants to drill in the north, which I think is an enormous fucking benefit, because it's not even a point of common sense. We drill in the north for the short term. Me and Chris both agree, petrol's done, oil's done. Its day has come and gone. We drill in the north only to hold on until our green infrastructure is in place.
You use it as the
stopgap.
The stopgap.
Yeah.
Which you'd still then turn around. Is it Swedes or Switzerland?
Switzerland. Norway. Norway, Sweden, Denmark, the Nordic states.
Yeah, you make a deal with the Nordic states as well. Try and get their oil as well. Get Russia involved.
Yes, controversy, London. Yes. Start talking to the Russians again.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid we need resources.
Yeah, because I can guarantee if we, as most people, turn around and go, why are you saying step back into the EU, but with the condition that you tell Brussels to stick the finger up their ass.
Yes, yeah. I think there is a deal in the current geopolitical society where we could make a very, very comfortable deal with Europe, which we could cherry pick. We really could, right? I don't think the rebate is that important.
No, I say most people,
the old rebate.
Yeah. Most people would turn around and gladly step back into Europe as long as Brussels wasn't turning around going, you must follow this, you must follow that. How about you stick your head up your ass?
Yeah.
Govern yours, and let everyone else govern their own.
We need a confederacy of Europe. I think is the best option.
Have a main structure to build off, but that main structure is agreed by everybody, not just Brussels.
Yeah. That's
get your superiority out your ass.
Brussels also has a bad reputation from the British press as well. I think there's a little bit too much demonisation of Brussels. Brussels does not have as much control as the British press thinks it is. It does have a control mechanism. We're not denying that. And that irritates the British people. Because we believe in our parliamentary sovereignty.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you do it so that Brussels, like any country could turn around and go, I reckon this new law would help, but then everyone then gets a chance to vote on it. whether it then becomes main or just whether you decide to initiate it in your own government.
Back on Burnham's policies, he's going to nationalise entire sections of the water and energy industries.
But didn't say it's going to be a case of the fact they own it.
No. Burnham has said he wants all parts of the UK to take greater public control of the water and energy sectors. He has suggested this could emulate Greater Manchester's bus network, where private operators bid to run services on a franchise basis, with local authorities controlling the fares, timetables and routes.
The government still has the main say.
Yeah.
I should say, as the
and
main
the franchisers then make bids.
Yeah, they have the main rules set in place, and then a company could come in and just be basically that's called co-owners with it. Yeah.
However, he is yet to spell out what an equivalent model for water and energy companies would mean in practice. Burnham has been at pains to point out his plans do not necessarily mean full nationalisation of utility firms, a move that would cost many billions. No, it wouldn't. And I really have to stop the Western British press saying this. It wouldn't. What you need to do is pass a law through Parliament, which Burnham could do, declaring that you must put your debts and how much it would take to fix your problems you're in alongside your assets as your true worth of your value of your company. Because if you did that, I guarantee you, Britain, you would have a far more financial means. Maybe some of the utility electrical companies, maybe they would be worth the billions. But nationalising the water companies wouldn't be that high, because the maintenance that has been done in the British water companies are non-fucking existent. The Thames, the water company, is an absolute fucking eyesore. My family in London doesn't drink Thames water. It's all bottled at home. All bottled, the whole fucking thing.
Isn't that the one that you said they've gone an extra 50 million in debt?
50 billion. 50 billion in debt.
50 billion in debt. They've gone an extra 50 billion in debt, and the only thing I can think of with that is because of the fact that they charge London astronomical prices for the water thing and everything else. They haven't maintained the infrastructure, which says to me, oh, we've kept customer rating above 1 star. Oh, we deserve a £50 million bonus. That's what it says to me. They're taking it all for themselves.
19.7 billion. The heaviest indebted utility, which services 16 million customers across London and the South East, has been navigating major financials. It gained an additional 2 billion net borrowing. Another 2 billion.
Yeah, but how? If you're charging everybody literally one of the highest utility rates going, how are you in debt? I'll be asking for their frigging goddamn financial records to see what...
This is why I say they should put what it costs to repair their systems alongside their assets to then give the true understanding value. So you take what you owe minus, so your minus against your plus, and that's the value of your company. And if Britain passed that law, the utility industries would all be purchasable by the British public. I don't even think it would cost us more than a couple of $100 million. And I'd spend that to fucking own my own things. And then then I would pursue the previous owners who ran these companies into the ground. I would legally fucking pursue them. Pursue them with an undying passion for loss of earnings, loss of infrastructure.
Whilst I would stabilise, create jobs and start fixing shit.
Make the companies pay their fucking, their corporate bills. This is why I disagree with it would cost billions. I don't think that's the case. I think the reality is that the Western media press, British press specifically, does not like the idea of any form of nationalisation, and therefore
it's less money in their bloody pocket. That's why.
Yeah.
It would take out several high superpower companies.
I know it would. Birmingham has promised the biggest council housing building programme since the post-war period. About fucking time. Now he's putting the kind of language I like, because me and you have said the last major infrastructure was post-war. The 1950s, where we had where the infrastructure was set around 55 million. If he follows through with doing a post-war kind of rebuild, we will then start seeing an alleviation of all the pressure points across Britain. If he does.
But we've said countless times the only way to relieve the pressure is build more homes.
Absolutely, build more homes, schools,
yeah,
infrastructure. I mean, 5 Bristols. We've said this.
Yeah, build new communities, basically.
Build brand new cities as well. The place would almost would be all the more challenging to meet, given that Burnham has promised to stick to the current government's debit and spending rules. I think he should bury that. I don't think we. I think when you're borrowing to build, it's different for borrowing to pay debts, pay your bills. So we're not borrowing. Britain's not borrowing the money to put it into the into paying off Britain's current debt. Britain's running the household, running the NHS. That's wasting money when you're borrowing it. If you're borrowing 500 billion from the international to then build 500 billion's worth of infrastructure, you're now showing value for money.
You're basically showing an interest on your return.
Yeah. Currently, some of the budget goes towards affordable housing when rents are more similar to market rates, as well as affordable home ownership. He has also expressed the desire to see high-density residential developments in towns in order to protect more green spaces from development. This is, again, another thing I disagree with Burnham. We have to build on the green belt. Even if it's 2 or 3%, it has to be done. And the green belt has to be suspended.
Since we started this, we've said that we can turn around and fit the entire Britain in the frigging corner of it.
Yeah, of course you can. And we realistically now need to exemplarily move further into the green belt. Whether the British Liberal Democrats and the Greens like that or not, that is something that is becoming a growing reality of society.
This is one thing the Greens and Liberals need to understand. As we said, we've only got an infrastructure for 55 million. We're currently running, 70?
Just shy of 70.
I'm going to say around the 70 mark. Obviously, that'll fluctuate, as everything always does. But that's 14 million more than what we can.
Now, if we follow the Daily Fail and all the other British press's horrific assumptions that there are 8 million illegal migrants in Britain or brown people, let's call what the British fucking press to wear. No, we've got too many brown people. If we took the 8 million, and it's not that many, okay? I'm telling you now.
I thought illegals was like just over 1 million.
Illegals are far, far less. We're talking about legal migration. They're worried about the legal migration for the last 20 years. It's around 8 million brown people have come into the country. And I use that terminology very loosely, Britain, because I'm very, very, I'm a big believer of multiculturalism, but I believe we need to integrate these communities better. I believe that we, the British whites and the other communities need to be integrated better. There is a lack of integration.
That's what causes the divide.
That's what causes the divide and the problems. So, I'm a believer that your race, colour, skin and creed don't fucking matter. What matters is your matter of integration. Can you speak the language? Do you support the values of society? Are you participating in society? Are you democratically getting involved? These are the important factors. And I believe that the white people need to be integrated to the other communities, because it's not the same over here, Chris. This is what I'm trying to get at. Many British Pakistanis, Bengalis, Somalians, they have a better understanding of British politics, British culture, British society than most white people. And it's not even offensive.
Damn.
Because many white communities just weren't integrated with these brown communities during the 60s, 70s and 80s.
With the other ethnicities.
Yeah. This is where we have the problem. The British communities weren't brought into the integration procedure. And that's where I think we need to work on it. But the housing and the infrastructure, we get this right, we kick this as hard as we can, and we solve most of our racism problems. Because it will lower the pressures on everything. If people can start buying houses, the 30-year-old kids who are still living at home with their parents, I mean, me and you, I mean you for the moment, yeah, I know you're buying properties. You took a half step back to step forward.
Yeah.
But that's not the same. I mean, most 30-year-olds, I think it's more than 40% of them are living at home with their parents.
Well, to be honest, I'm not surprised.
Because the housing costs are horrific. I'm very, very lucky that I started renting in the 2000s with me and my flatmate. I'm really lucky about that, because the place we're in is actually affordable. And I'm unbelievably appreciative of the fact that I'm very lucky in that regard, that I got where I am now. Because if I was to try and do what I'm doing now in the 2000s, I'd be fucked. I don't have the finances to be financing a full-scale British flat even in Gloucestershire
Well, on my wages, I know for a fact if I tried renting a decent 1 to 2 bed property of any sort, like flat, house, studio apartment, those sort of things, I'm looking at a minimum of £1,000.
Yeah, exactly. Rent. I was looking recently, it's 950 for the same thing I've got. You've seen my tiny flat, 950.
Yeah.
If I wasn't,
as I said, roughly around 1,000. It's roughly 1,000.
And that's not even a fucking big. There's a 2-bedroom flat. That's it. Second floor. It's tiny, mate. So from my point of view, the housing situation is massive. We need to get our 30-year-olds moving, because once they have a house, they're then building wealth. They're building families. The birth rate problem will be solved by the housing problem. These all have knock-on effects. This is why me and Chris believe one of the business models that I'm thinking about doing with Chris later, when we have the UNOs, is getting microhouses for students to get into the student housing business and lower the prices of how much our students are paying for homes in terms of the microhouses. The ones you can buy 100,000 of in fucking China right now.
Those ones, yeah.
We just ship them over, put them in lots, and have the students moving out of them, rent. And we could go as fucking cheap as £100 a month with that. And you'd fucking rake it in. You'd absolutely rake it in, because all the actual brick and mortar houses who would be used, that are currently being used to house these kids, could then be turned over to people for social housing.
Or sold off for the people that want to build
live
a family.
there permanently. Yeah. There are so many opportunities in the world right now in terms of a capitalistical mindset, if you're prepared to put your mind towards it. Housing is one of Britain's both greatest problems and greatest solutions if you know what you're doing. Personal taxes. Burnham has said he wants to stick to Labour's pledge at the last election not to raise the main rate of income tax, VAT or national insurance, whilst maintaining there is some room within the manifesto for movement in other areas. During the campaign to be re-elected as MP, he said he wants to have people a proper look at potentially raising the 12,570 starting threshold for income tax. I think they should bump that up to 20 grand.
Well, hang on, so he's actually saying you earn more before you pay?
Yeah.
Burnham, you've just done a massive green tick.
I'm just telling you, the man has actually got a fucking plan. For people.
Hell, even if you only increase it by £1,000.
No, we need more than that.
And then I was going to say, even if he just does £1,000, like to start off with, like to start getting the ball rolling, that's still
another £1,000 back in our pocket.
That's an extra £1,000 back in your pocket, and for most people, that is a massive.
Working Britons make more than 12,500.
That's a massive amount of breathing.
If he puts if he puts 30, if that was me, I would say 15. I would say put it at 15. That's £3,000 in every working family's pocket.
That's your entire utilities paid for.
Yeah, that's the pressure on utilities gone.
And that's more food on your table.
Yeah.
Bang.
Yeah.
More free movement within the market then, because then that will then generate more business.
Absolutely, and it would allow Britons to actually start spending, because at the moment one of the key factors that our country is, and where would I move that £3,000? I would put that in a wealth tax. I'm sorry, I don't care how unpopular wealth tax are. It is necessary. Something as low as 0.5% wealth tax could generate the money necessary to get the economy.
Wealth tax?
None, zero.
Zero.
And people are talking about 2%, and the wealthy are saying, "Oh, that's too much." Even if we did 0.5%,
wealth tax. What have I not heard of the wealth tax?
You might want to look it up. Basically, it's taxing of the movement of wealth.
Is that inheritance tax?
No. Entirely different. W-E. What is a wealth tax? The UK does not currently have a comprehensive annual wealth tax. And incoming Prime Minister Andy Burnham signalled it is one of the policy agendas for how to avoid creating new economical division. However, left-wing MPs and campaign groups are pushing for a 2% levy on assets over 10 million. That's called your individual wealth.
Yes. Across everything, so pensions, investments, property, and everything else.
If it's above 10 million, Chris.
Above 10 million. Fucking stick it in place. I don't care.
Like I said, that's not even me.
If you got over 10 million's worth of
physical assets,
of 10 million of wealth, that's called wealth. Yeah.
A 0.5% would probably not scare the corporate elite. Would pay to put £3,000 back in the pocket of Britons.
So definitely.
Do you know what I'm saying? You say to the wealthy, you're going to get a wealth tax. And they're screaming at 2%, saying, I'm going to put 0.5, but I'm transferring that so that the baseline of Britain's how much they earn raises to 15 grand. It'll put more people back in work. The richest people will go, that's more employees. I can work with that.
That means more employees. That means more
money being spent.
More money
being spent around the system.
Yeah.
Because the ultra wealthy do not spend at the level that the population does. That's a very important factor. The ultra wealthy do not spend like the British public does. We put 3 grand in each fucking household's pocket before we take any tax, raise that base threshold from 12 to 15. I guarantee you that will change the economics of our country because families will start purchasing more. Yeah? We'll see more nappies purchased, more babies being born.
People turn around and go, oh, that extra 3 grand, oh, I've worked that little bit of debt out, which means I now got more money free to turn around and buy more food.
Absolutely. More food, more stability, more utilities paid.
That's my energy bill paid for the year by that extra 3 grand. Oh, that's fine. That's less pressure on me.
Social care. Burnham has long supported the idea that social care should become a more universal system. In a speech in 2023, he suggested this could be funded by replacing inheritance tax with a new national care levy. He has suggested everyone would pay the new tax, whilst obviously the wealthiest would pay most. The Health Foundation think tank estimates in 2024 that the NHS-style model of universal and comprehensive care could cost around 17 billion in additional funding by 2023, by 2035 and 2036. A cheaper option would be a Scottish-style system with basic protection for everyone against some care costs, which would cost around 7 billion by 2035 and 36, by replacing in English, according to the think tank. During his Make It Feel campaign, Burnham said he did not resell from his previous statement, but is yet to offer further details on how the idea would be implemented. What we need to do about the social care is we need the fucking economy moving. It's the economy is.
What would it replace again?
The base system, the base NHS system, because it's involving social care. Yeah. So the social care model would be, he's talking about a national care levy. He suggests everyone would pay the new tax because that would replace the inheritance tax.
Most people will be on board with that.
Inheritance tax isn't popular.
Because the inheritance tax, if you eliminate that, but then turn around and go, well, we've got rid of this, but we're doing this, because then
everyone's paying into it.
And then everyone's paying into it, but then it's paying for your care in your medical side.
Yeah.
Everyone will turn and go, you're investing in our health? We like that.
Labour did promise to overhaul the system in opposition, but upon taking office, commissioned a review of finding that it's not due to report until 2028. Burnham has said he would bring that forward to the end of this year. So he's going to bring the report on how to reform Britain's NHS and systems by the end of this year. That's
a lot of work to do in under 6 months.
Oh, I know. Less than 6 months, Chris. Less than 6 months.
You said under 6 months.
Yeah. Immigration. Like the Sunak government, Labour has reduced levels of immigration by tightening visa requirements by massive levels. Let's be very, very clear. We have to give Keir Starmer a nod. As he's an outgoing MP, a nod. He has dropped the fucking net migration from 700,000 to 800,000 down to 300. Net migration is the lowest it's been since the 2000s, Chris. Okay?
So
he has. That is one major success I will give him.
He's actually gone along and tweaked the paperwork to reduce it.
Yes. During his Make It Feel campaign, Burnham said net migration needs to fall even further. Although he has not set a specific target. One area where he could have an internal backlog on his hands is over proposals to lengthen the time that foreigners and nationals already living in the UK would have to wait before they could qualify for permanent residency. Earlier this year, Burnham urged Labour MPs to heed warnings from the party's former deputy leader, Angela Rayner, about the impact of change. But when running to be an MP himself, he said that he supports the broad thrust of the plans unveiled earlier this year by Home Secretary Shabu Mamoon, which basically means extend the length of time people are staying in the country, do more background checks, get a better idea. Yeah? Net migration is the lowest it's been in 20 years. I need to stress that, because people overlook that very, very quickly.
There's one thing people will be concerned about there is if you're going to lengthen the time in order to assess people, will that not then increase net migration?
No.
No.
From all trends, it shows it's not. It's doing the opposite. Because if people are having to wait longer, they really, really, really want to be British.
I get what you mean. You got to pay the. If you're willing to come here, you got to be patient until we've done a thorough background check. Otherwise, you bugger off.
Yeah, and it is having that effect. That's one of the reasons why the net migration is constantly plunging. I'm certain of it.
Basically, they're saying you're gonna have to wait longer for it to go in because we're doing a thorough check on you.
Yeah. The UK long-term net migration was 171,000 for the year ending December 2025, which is the difference between 813,000 people who immigrated and 642,000 who emigrated out. This represents a 48% decrease from the previous year and the lowest annual figure since 2012.
Damn.
Nearly fucking 20 years, Chris. And a lot of that is the non-EU nationals that are leaving. 350,000 of them. So we're not even talking, if we're going to get the racists' wet dream, the non-white people are leaving Britain. Okay? I am a believer in the need of migration. I believe in multiculturalism, but I also believe in integration. I need to stress this. There's a net outflow of British nationals of about 136,000 at the moment. And I think that is driven by that cunt and her tax regimes. And tax and tax and tax and tax. And more fucking tax. I think the immigration system is going in the right direction. If Burnham keeps that boat going in the right direction...
Because they've tightened the belt on criteria to get in. If they keep tightening that belt, it will have a positive effect because we're at 171.
I was
gonna say it's having a positive effect already. If you just tighten it just a tiny bit more, just tweak that criteria just that tiny bit. I'm not saying completely strangle the fucking thing, but just adjust it slightly. So just instead of trying to put it as in about like 5 notches, just 1 notch
or half a notch.
Yeah. Just the next notch along. Just to go right. Let's do that. That'll pinch it to the way that I want it.
And the net, like I said, if the net migration drops into negative, then I think the nationalists will have to shut up. We're not there. I don't want us to be there. But
if it drops into negative, Britain would be in uproar and celebration.
Well, especially your side of Britain.
No, I think everyone will, because that says we've taken control, we've sorted out the criteria to get in. People aren't willing to wait, which means. Now
that's what I'm saying. The Mamoon's got this on the cards. She's like, if you want to be a citizen, you've got to wait longer.
Yeah, they're not willing to wait, so they're leaving. That says that we're pushing out the undesirable ones out the door.
I'm frightened we're pushing out the ones who will be the next great engineers and scientists. That's one of my fears as well. The mothers or parents of the future.
You did say that we do need to be ideally. To solve the current housing thing,
absolutely.
We do need to go into a negative for a bit.
We do.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I don't think that we need to be careful. I want us to be selective at the negative. Yes, I don't want the low cost of workers, but I do want the fucking engineers. I do want the scientists. I do want the mathematicians.
Yeah, but the ones that want to come over, as you said, they're willing to wait that little bit longer. Yeah.
Maybe they'll get a better deal in Spain or Greece or Portugal.
Yeah, but then they could then turn around and go there. Then once we lighten the belt up again, because of the fact we've dealt with everything, they're going, oh, I don't know, they've tightened it enough so they can sort their internals out before they can then let us back
absolutely.
in.
Chris, and again, I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm trying to get at is I feel that what we could lose in migration is something it should be a conversation.
But then we can develop the ones internally.
Absolutely.
We can then turn around and train the kids up in school that want to be
Our fucking school system's horrific.
Yeah, that's one thing we've fixed anyway. So.
Our fucking school system. We don't teach enough sciences. I think since we're going on a tangent on schools, the education system gives too much to the humanities, too much to feelings, too much to wokeism, and I hate using that word because I'm not an enemy of the left. But I think that we need to put more mathematicians, more scientists, more engineers, more problem solvers, more analytical thinkers need to be coming out of our schools now.
It's problem solvers that you need.
We need more and more because we know global warming's here. Yeah. We know global warming. We're having fucking heat waves and fucking goddamn fires.
Who said it's global warming? I've seen several sources.
Oh, fuck off, you denier! No. Let's get
it right. They're saying global warming is going to create a deep freeze. Yeah.
No.
We'll come to a point, but whichever. This is me looking back at what scientists have said over the course of the Earth's
Chris, we are in trends now. We have trends of where we are getting hotter and hotter. I'm not paying attention about where it came from. Britain has had 4 on fucking record years of heat waves. That's a trend. That's no longer an isolated situation. That's a trend.
No, that's a change of direction. That doesn't mean it's global warming. That could be the world adjusting to.
You see what I got to deal with, Britain? This is what I got to deal with.
But the thing is, everyone's going, it's global warming due to industrial factors and everything else.
No, I didn't say industrial factors.
Yeah.
But we are, the greatest fucking ice shelf, is the one that's like the size of Florida, is about to break off the fucking Arctic. Chris, you shake your head. Do you want to be paddle-pooling in Gloucester City? Because that'll be the new fucking coastline.
It's fine by me, more fish.
Okay, so let's be real. Global warming, or more importantly, the world is heating up. However, that's happening.
There is an adjustment within the climate. Yes.
Yes.
I'm not denying that. I'm questioning on how it's come about. Yeah. That is my my approach. Yeah.
Okay.
People are saying obviously it's mainly due to human influence. Yeah.
We are larger in population than the dinosaurs were during their Cretaceous period.
Yeah. But that was also hotter climate.
True.
Yeah.
But we are larger population than they were.
Throughout the entire course, the course of the Earth history.
Yeah.
It goes through hot spikes, cold spikes, hot spikes, cold spikes. True. How do you know we're not on one of those paths?
Honestly, I'm not learned enough into this business, but
because going by what scientists have looked,
some scientists.
Remember,
they're the minority.
Yeah.
The bulk of the climate scientists have said it's us.
Yeah, but that's because of the fact they think that we're the main factor.
Well,
let's get that right. Yeah.
I think
I'm questioning on how it's coming about. I'm not saying it isn't here. I'm questioning on how it's coming about.
Okay. Yeah? I will play that. However it's getting here, it is a factor that we need ACs in houses now in Britain.
Yeah, we've gone past the cold plummet. We're on a heat rise.
Yes, there was a global ice age mini ice age a couple of 100 years ago. I don't even know when the last mini ice age was. I think it was.
Yeah, hence the reason why I'm referring to that, because it goes through spikes of hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. It's the way the Earth controls its own temperature to keep us habitable, people.
14th century, around the 1300s to the mid 19th century, it was characteristic by advanced mountain glaciers and severe winters. Though the exact start and end date remains debated by climatologists. As the Little Ice Age was a prolonged period of regional cooling spanning roughly from the early 14th century to around the mid 19th century. But I don't think that Britain's ecosystem, that takes millions of years to evolve, Chris, Britain's trees, Britain's plants, and that lot, they are not climatically set to take tropical weather.
That's the adjustment.
No, but do you understand? We are looking at a British eco-extinction event because of the weather change. So this is not some minor transformation.
No, it's expected.
British trains, British plants, British trees, British animals are not capable of sustaining a tropical environment.
It's called natural selection. It's called the change of the environments. It's nature.
Natural selection. I don't think you understand the grasp of what happens if all of Britain's bees die to our farming.
No, hang on. No. If bees die in general, humans are fucked. I already know that. Yeah?
Okay, yeah. Well, see, because of climate change, or the hotter weather, whatever you call it, if the British bees die, Britain's farming is dead.
I can guarantee you they'll evolve to deal with the heat.
They won't.
They will. Nature always finds a way. Oh, hang on, I'm quoting Jurassic Park there. But going back to that slight thing on the ice ages, how many? What do you reckon the yearly cycle is for a major ice age?
Centuries.
100,000 year cycle. Yeah. So if it's the 14th century, that says we're still coming out of it.
Yeah, that could be, but that's a minority view though. British bumblebees, Chris, will be extinct if we have a temperature of above 30. No, not adaptation. British bumblebees, the bulk of our bees, will be extinct if we have a regional stability, as in our nation's heat during summer remains at 30 degrees.
But is it remain at 30 degrees? At the moment, we have a spike of in the 30s, 40s, and it drops.
It also reduces bee fertility and could lead bees into a spiraling decline. You see, I'm just taking one insect involving the environment that we live in.
Yeah, but
you're artificially having...
You're not just taking one insect. You're taking the key insect.
Yes, because it's the most important fucking argument I can give you about climatology. We lose the bees, we lose British farmland. Dead everywhere.
Say that anywhere you lose the bees, it's dead.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to get at is our heat wave. We're going to have to start actually artificially protecting our bees. That is a multi-billion-pound industry we're going to have to build. And nobody is talking about it.
Well, you're not surprised because they want to kill the farming industry in the UK anyway.
No, I don't. I categorically don't. Nor do you.
No, I don't want to kill it, but the current government bloody looks like they bloody want to.
No, I don't even think Keir Starmer is just negligent. There's the difference. He's negligent to this. There are elements of people who want to be able to constantly live on the living market and buy and purchasing power. I get that. But I do believe that the British society needs to take more care of things like that. The current temperatures of 28 to 32 is a severe disruption to the ability to forage and the development and reduced fertility.
Yeah, but the thing you've got to take into account now is how often we get heat waves.
4 years running.
No, hang on. Yeah, we're getting a heat wave every year at a certain time of the year. We get a heat wave, yeah. So that nature's already adjusting to that. I can guarantee you already. Yeah, nature adjusts faster than you think. So if they know at a certain time of the year it's going to get hot, so they go into what's called hibernation or protection mode, yeah, to then come back out after. I can understand the fact that if it consistently goes over 30 continuously throughout the year, that's when it will start killing the bees.
Dr. Anna Wallace, one of Britain's leading pollinarists, who has been involved in insects for nearly 45 years, says a consistent desire to avoid the heat by our bees during summer will halve British farming by 2050. So if the bees adapt the way you want them to, as I just looked up the information, we will lose half our farming because the bees are going, fuck that, it's too hot out there. We'll store up during spring and come out during autumn. We lose half our farming.
Then the farming needs to adjust.
That's horrifying. That's terrifying.
Yeah, that is terrifying. But you can't turn around and, as much as we love to turn around and protect the bees consistently,
because they're so fucking, you said it yourself, they're fucking important.
But we also can't turn around and start messing with Mother Nature and the weather. We're doing that as a planet. And see,
whether we want to or not.
But not onto the scale that you're thinking.
And Chris, absolutely is the scale I'm thinking, because we're living through the results of it.
Oh, that's you seeing it's just us doing it. It's not just us.
Let's move on, because me and you will probably start throwing fists at each other.
I know there's more factors to it than just us.
We are a big factor of it, yes? Would you agree with that?
We are.
Would you agree that a population that is twice the size of the dinosaurs...
Yeah, but we don't produce as much methane as the fucking dinosaurs did.
They lived in a Jurassic period, for fuck's sake! There was no ice on the planet!
Yeah, also, their shits with their hands and produce that much methane, it would kill us.
Welfare and employment. Back to Burnham.
Yeah,
Before me and Chris have fisticuffs over fucking global warming. Burnham has said he wants to see fairer and lasting reduction to the UK welfare bill. I agree with that. Rising spending on health and disability benefits in recent years, but he has also not set out plans to change the level of benefit payments or how people qualify to receive them. Instead, he argues that claimants can be reduced by improving employment support and in-work mental health support. Get the companies to pay for their staff's mental health. Get them to bring on their own therapists. Yeah, I like the sounds of that.
Most companies, well, the big companies...
No. We're behind the Europeans in that regard. We don't have our own company therapists.
No, I mean, so they don't hire their own therapists, but they outsource it to a specialist company that deals with it.
Yeah. But they don't do it nowhere near to the level the French and the Germans do. And we consider ourselves a European country. We should at least be on par of that. Ignore America. All right? America is the black hole of examples of cooperation. We should probably have our own in-house or outsourced mental health doctors.
I know the bigger companies outsource in that sector. Obviously, that part of health, mental health, to obviously the people that are already established in that field with their own company, which I can understand that. They could do it internally if they're willing to spend the money. But I have a distinct feeling most will turn around and just go to an external company.
Yeah. He has also said that he wants 16 to 18-year-olds to have guaranteed work placements. I agree with that. I think the NEETs need to be dealt with. That's one of our biggest problems. We need to basically force the NEETs into work, into employment, into apprenticeships. They need to be jarred out of fucking doing nothing all day.
Yeah, that annoys me.
Yeah. With more than 1 million of them, for fuck's sake. And I don't care if that offends some people. The idea that 1 million Britons, teenage Britons, are not pursuing their higher self, whatever that is, whether it's art. I don't even care if those 1 million kids become fucking artists. They might inspire someone to create the next clean energy. Actually do something. Apathy is worse than death. Absolutely.
Progressing the path is still better than no path.
Exactly. Sitting on the fucking couch playing video games all day, every day, or claiming you're depressed that you can't do something. The way you get out of depression is actually doing something.
If you like video games that much, become a video game developer.
Yeah, that too. Fuck yeah. Get 1 million of them saying that, you might get a few thousand actual decent fucking video games.
Might have some actual competition within the gaming market.
I know, talk about it. Business policies. Burnham has said he wants to preserve a sovereign manufacturing capacity in key areas such as steel, defence, energy and farming. And he wants to make it easier for British companies to win public contracts. I like the sentiment. How does he imply
Did he say British companies?
British companies.
No, I like that. That's localised.
Yeah, to win public contracts. How does he implement it is my follow-up. During the by-election campaign, his team set out a policy document promising a cut in business rates for pubs and music venues by 20%. I don't think pubs...
I like the way you said pubs and entertainment thing, because he knows that's one of the core.
I don't think pubs are actually that important. They have been in a nationwide decline for a while.
No, they've been in nationwide decline due to the amount of cost it takes to run them these days, because the amount of taxes and everything else thrown on booze and all that lot.
There's a large amount of people who aren't going to them, Chris. Remember, there is the footfall. Forget, if you were to take away all the tax, there is still a decline going on in the pubs and outside drinking areas, because teenagers would prefer to sit around their mates.
Yeah, but I could guarantee you, if you turn around and make it easier for pubs to be run, especially in the little local towns.
True.
Yeah, that's where it would then pick back up, because the locals can turn around and then go to a little pub to socialise and everything else. Get them off those devices.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you there. Get them away from the phone.
Because pubs is not so much about the cities, it's more about the local little villages where the community builds.
True. That would be paid for, they said, by higher taxes of out-of-town warehouses used by online retailers like Amazon. Burnham also wants to raise the threshold which businesses' rates kick in, taking a lot of the small high street shops out of paying altogether. I like that. But then I think Britain's high street society is in terminal decline. I don't think, but Burnham might slow it, but I don't think he can stop it. I think the collapse of the high street is inevitable.
The high street, unless...
People are more savvy to shop online nowadays, Chris.
I said the online stuff is taking over. So unless that little small high street business has
a uniqueness to it,
as their own uniqueness, but also an online presence. Yeah, that's the only way they're going to survive.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean,
because then I'm still a case of I will look for stuff online, but I will still turn around and I will take my ass down to shop to see it.
Yeah, true. Me too. Yeah. Me too. But I just think that the idea that the high street it's dying all over the world.
It's morphing.
Yeah.
It's morphing. It's more of a online high street. You still have your physical presence within the town, but most of your business is done online.
Yeah, because people don't necessarily want to come out to get it.
Yeah.
Foreign policy and defence. Burnham has said he would like the UK to rejoin the EU within his lifetime, but he has insisted he does not want to rerun the 2016 referendum now. He has pledged to seek a closer relationship with European countries and consolidate the progress made or existing negotiations with the EU. His stance on relations with the EU would soon be put to the test as he inherits a series of live negotiations on youth visas, food regulations, and plans to relink the UK to the EU's carbon pricing regime. Now, I don't agree with that. I think the pricing regime needs to be fucking kicked to the curb. I think Britain needs to spend the next 10 years fixing our domestic power consumptions and then join the rest of the world in trying to fix global warming. We jumped on the bandwagon too early. We don't have our new generation nuclear power plants. We don't have any of our real...
A case of sort yourself before you help others.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I fundamentally believe that Britain needs to get its own shit in order, power consumption-wise.
I can guarantee you, if you turn around and went to the other people, right, do you plan to join that? But first I need to sort myself out before I get back on, because otherwise if I try to help you guys when I have to sort myself, I'm going to collapse, and therefore it will negatively affect you at the same time. Most of them start and go, okay, no problem, sort yourself, then come join when you're ready, and when you're able to.
Defence spending, which prompted the resignation of Starmer's Defence Secretary John Henley early in June, would provide another headache. In one of his final decisions in office, Sir Keir announced a plan to increase military spending by $15 billion over the next 4 years by cutting spending on other parts of the government, whilst leaving the details to Burnham to flesh out. Let's be fair, Starmer knows he got fucked, so he gave Burnham a middle finger on the way out the door. A key challenge would be also be how Burnham seeks to handle US President Donald Trump. He has said the UK should seek a good relationship with the US whilst being willing to say if we can't agree with them. He also wants electoral reforms. I think electoral reforms are something we're going to have to talk about. They really are. We've been avoiding this by first past the post for far too long. If 30% of our country banded together and voted for Nigel Farage's Reform Party, we would have one of the most xenophobic right-wing governments we have ever had in the history of this country.
So eliminate first past the post.
First past the post system should be dumped, should be unconditionally dumped. I think the system is deeply inherently unfair. It robs me and you of our critical voice. If I want to vote Liberal Democrat...
First past post, that means basically... Yeah, that's whoever gets the required amount of votes first runs the country. No, because that doesn't speak for the entire country.
Of course it doesn't. Almost every government we've had has never had more than 50%. Tony Blair didn't get more than 40% of the entire vote of the country. And you know how popular he was back in the day.
Yeah, but then that... If you go... Let's go... It should go to a case of who has the highest percentage. So that's speaking for the populace. Won't be much better. Well, to start off, it won't be much better than first past the post. But then it would get people thinking, then, wouldn't it?
1931, the National Government, the Conservatives, recorded 60% of the vote. 1951, the Conservatives got 48%. The Conservative government via Theresa May and Tony Blair were all in the 40s. Boris Johnson got in the 40s. Almost we're talking decade appointments apart from each other, Chris, here. Yeah. Only in 2017 and 2019 did 40% of the country vote for those governments. That's nearly a consensus. We've never had a government of 50% of our country. Never. Since the 1930s. In nearly 100 years, we have never had more than 50% of our country. In the 1930s, the National Government, the Conservatives, secured an all-time record of 60% of the vote in 1931. The Conservative governments of 1951 got 48%, and they talked about how horrifying that was to them. Going on now nearly 50 years, 60 years, no government has raised above 50%. None. 1955, 79, 83, 97. The Labour government under Tony Blair was 43%, and they were ecstatic to have 43% of the population. You see, the bar has been dropping constantly, and that's why first past the post system is so fucking flawed. Unbelievably flawed. We do not have, I mean, in the 2024 election, we had 33% of the population vote, the lowest vote share of a majority winning party in modern British history.
Because everyone's given up on politics because none of them benefit the country, the people anymore.
People, yeah, no, of course.
And you can't say they're not, because think how many...
This is why we need electoral reform. Yeah. We need to be comfortable talking about electoral reform.
And we need to set standards that whatever you state you're going to do when you come into power, if you do not do it, you're immediately up for re-election.
I mean, the ability to recall politicians is something we should be... There's definitely a constitutional conversation that we need to start worrying about. I think Britain is long overdue having its own constitution. I think we need one as a country, so we can start holding these politicians accountable. I think that's something that if the Tories wanted to win mine and your vote back, they'd put a constitution on the table. I think that would at least have me look at Keir Starmer.
That's making them accountable.
Yeah, they won't do it. They won't do it because they know the cost would be that they would lose political power. Just as I close up before we move over to Chris's side.
No, we're all doing the same thing. So.
Oh, okay, fair enough. My apologies. So we will just carry on then. The polls are starting to massively erode for reform. The Clapton by-election, which we spoke about in last, Count Binface, we've got your back. The whole country is rooting for Count Binface. If there was a national election against him and Nigel Farage, he would win.
Because they don't want Farage. I'm sorry, but Farage, the fact that is he a local comedian?
No, he's a national comedian.
Yeah, national comedian has entered the political race as satire to literally make the point.
But satire is such a British thing, Chris.
Yeah,
satire is such a British thing.
The fact that he's turned around and is looking to overthrow you.
A total of 34 candidates have confirmed for the Clacton Constitution by-election.
34? Damn!
Triggered by the resignation of Nigel Farage. The Reform UK leader resigned as an MP on the 7th of July, following increased scrutiny over his finance and parliamentary investigation, but is standing again. The list contains 20 independents, a number of joke candidates, including three from the monster raving loony party. With none of the main Westminster parties, voters will get to the polls on the 30th. Westminster. Yeah, one of the words Chris said earlier off camera. Westminster. I fucking loved it. It's one of those ones we're going to have to pattern. Like the budget Dorito from our good friend the Count. It is thought to be the highest number of candidates to stand in a by-election in modern times, according to tendering district council. The previous record is understood to be 26 candidates, set by Hampshire and Howard by-election in June 2008. Farage is the only candidate from Westminster Party after Labour, the Conservatives, the Liberal Democrats and the Green Party all declined to take part in contesting for the Essex seat. The joke candidate Count Binface and actor-turned-politician Lawrence Fox are among his highest profile opponents. A lengthy statement of personal nominations was posted outside Clacton Town Hall, setting out the future list of candidates. It also had been published on the district council websites. There's the Independents, the Forward Party, Count Binface's party, Nick the Incredible Flying Brick, the official monster raving loony party.
Nick the Incredible Flying Brick.
Tony Kane, Independent, Woke Trump Crazy, Independent. William Stance James Closton, Social Democrat Party. Reece Crone, Independent. Glenn Charles Cummings, Independent. Martin Davis, Freedom Alliance, Real People, Real Alternative. Andy Elgin, Independents. Nigel Farage, the Reform Party. Nigel, have you seen what this looks like for you? Anthony Fard, Independents. Lawrence Fox, the Reclaim Party. Tony France, Independents. Robert Green, Independents. Abby Hookway, Independents. Howling Lord Hope, the official monster raving. Howling Lord Hope. Stephen Richard Ingrid, independent. Andy Morris, independent. Derek Norbert Morris, independent. There's a lot of Morrises. Michael Noel O'Keefe, independent. Martin O'Brien, independent. Nick Peltz, independent. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name, and I'm normally good at these. Ketakan Kumua Payaliak, UK Voice Safety and Stronger UK. Daniel Popcock, Independence. James Renston, Conservative Party candidate. No, Consciousness Party candidate. I thought the Conservatives weren't posting it. I thought, hang on, how did they sneak that one in? Gary Smith, Independence. Kai Stevens, British Democrats. John Stevens, Rejoin You EU. Baron von Thunderclap, the official Monster Raving Loony Party. I just love these Monster Raving Loony Party positions, man.
Baron von Thunderclap.
Baron von Thunderclap, official Monster Raving Loony Party. Howling Lord Hope, official Monster Raving Loony Party.
Thunderclap for the win.
Nick the Incredible Flying Brick, the official Monster Raven. This is fucking hysterical. And of course we have Lawrence Fox and of course Count Binface. I am personally think that this is fucking awesome. This is beyond awesome for me. The amount of satire that is deployed in this is hysterical. Nigel, I don't even know if you could look Parliament in the face. I'd be surprised the closer we get to this. Here's an outsider. I bet you a friendly £10 he might quit this election.
What, Farage?
Farage. Considering how much of a fast it is, I think his pride is going to make him quit this by-election. An outsider's bet, £10.
No, I reckon he'll go through with it, lose and quit entirely.
I think he'll quit before he gets there, knowing there's no major party for him to rally his base around. I mean, there's 3 Monster Raving Loony Party members. Nick the Flying Brick. Byron von Thunderclap. Look, I don't even need to look at the fucking screen to remember their names. They're that good. I personally think Count Binface should join the Monster Raven Loony Party if he wins it. It would be fucking hysterical. Absolutely fucking hysterical. Howling Lord Hope. How can you come into a by-election with a name like Howling Lord Hope? The satire is strong in this by-election. Absolutely fucking bulletproof.
All those names, and the only thing I can think of is Monty Python.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Howling Lord fucking Hope.
It's only a flesh wound.
Nick the Incredible Flying Brick. I mean, that just fucking says everything. Baron von Thunderclap. Baron von Thunderclap. I just think that this is exactly how we should treat Nigel Farage. I think this is brilliant.
Do you reckon the others are not entered because they want all these independent people and the interesting names to come out just to
No, I think generally because they want Farage to face up his music. He's taken $5 million in bribe money. He was bribed to run for politics by a crypto billionaire. He has money launderers going on in his politics right now.
That's actually been 100%.
Oh, yeah. Because the Telegraph's been ploughing it out now. He's under criminal investigation, Chris.
How the fuck is he still in?
Because he's a politician.
Politicians should not be exempt.
Yeah, no. He's under criminal. I'm almost certain he's under criminal investigation. I might be wrong about that. Let me double check.
Damn.
Let me double check. Under investigation. Nigel Farage is facing multiple investigations regarding hundreds of thousands of pounds of undeclared gifts, donations. The $5 million for the Standards Committee. The police and finance investigations. The Metropolitan Police have launched a probe on him, and the NCA, our National Crime Agency, the equivalent of our fucking goddamn FBI, the British FBI are investigating him. Concerns raised by banking regulations, the $5 million gift, as well as other transaction links to senior reform UK figures, were previously reported to the NCA to assess for potential money laundering. He's being investigated for money laundering. That's how fucking serious this is.
He should be immediately.
No, they haven't found anything yet. They're just investigating. But if you're a politician and people are investigating you for money laundering, that's more than enough reason to have you fired, unquestionably. The Metropolitan Police, Scotland Yard, is conducting a criminal inquiry to approximately 500,000 of donations made to Reform UK by Fiona Cottrell, mother of George Cottrell, you know, the fraudster, the one who went to prison for fraud, the person who's been prosecuted in America for fraud, one of Nigel's good mates, one of his close good friends. Chris, if we were running in politics and I found out you, and I know you wouldn't, and I found out that you were involved in fraud, that would fuck me. I would come out of politics. I would probably bloody your face afterwards because we're that close. But I'd have to leave politics because my ride or die is up to his fucking neck in fraud.
I will not be touching it with a barge pole.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the level of connectiveness. Me and you are that close. And if it was me, you know, some of my old friends came out and gave me some backhanders, and you found out, I'd expect a black eye because it fucks both of us.
Black eye? You'll be on TV going, what is this about money laundering allegations? You see me come up behind you with a baseball bat. Boom! We're both retiring from politics.
So this is the whole thing. And the common sense point of view needs to be held because there's undeclared support. There's a 5 million gift. There's resignations and re-elections. The Parliamentary Standards Inquiry is just having a fucking field day right now. Absolute field day with Nigel. And then there's the criminal fucking charges. The police and financial investigators. The NCA are not small people. They are serious fucking people. And they're doing it for fun. If they find these donations as being money laundering, Reform UK is fucked. Absolutely fucked. If they even remotely find...
What's the other right-wing white party?
Conservatives.
No.
Oh, Restore.
Restore.
The problem being is they're too right-wing for most moderate Reform voters. I'm happy that they're there because they're going to do an enormous level of damage to Nigel Farage and they're going to smash the right-wing vote. They're going to smash it. I think this criminal investigation is going to greatly damage Nigel Farage. It's going to improve. It's going to embolden Restore. It's going to damage the right wing. Under a first past the post, I could almost guarantee we're looking at another Labour government in the next election under Andy Burnham. If this pans out the way I think it will, Chris, that the investigation, any of these investigations come up, any one of them, the Met Poll, the NCA, the Parliamentary Standards.
That's as long as Burnham continues, does what he says he's going to do.
I think if he carries down this path, even if he makes mistakes, I'm prepared to give him the rope.
As long as he makes massive mistakes.
Chris, even look at what he's trying to do. He has a vision. When you look at Keir Starmer's entry, I want to create a United Nations, a country that's united together. Never gave us a policy. Never told us what he was doing.
This one's already...
This guy is spelling out what he's going to try and fix. I am going to give him at least 8 months. I think we need to give him that courtesy. Because there's 8 months worth of material we've got here for Nigel. Nigel, we're very happy here on the podcast about you. I'll tell you another person who should be smiling. The Conservative Party leaders should be fucking grinning from ear to ear. Kerry Bennett must be loving this because stand-up normal Conservatives are probably looking at Nigel and all this corruption and going, yeah, that's disgusting. I think this will be a bounce back for the Conservatives. And if Kerry plays her cards right and moves away from the xenophobic politics, she might salvage her party on a national level.
If she plays her cards right.
If she plays her cards right. Your opinion about the financial woes of Nigel Farage and his outlet?
You should resign now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just the hint of that rumour.
Parliamentary and Standards Inquiries, 5 billion undeclared support, resignation and re-election. Then you have the 2 police and financial investigations. The National Crimes Agency and the Met Poll are looking into him.
The fact that you got 3? Or is it 4 people looking into you?
Parliamentary Standing Committee is one thing. That's involving all of what he's doing. Then you've got 2 separate police forces.
So you've got 3 people doing 3 separate investigations on you. That's tainted your party straight off the bat.
Oh, of course.
you should turn around, step down, resign, deal with that, and then just disappear.
Oh, I want him prosecuted. I want us to put this fucking grifter, whose party has taken money from Russia. Let's be very, very clear about this.
When I say disappear, I'm thinking on the case if he steps down and then deals with the charges that he's been faced with, which are more likely something's going to pop up.
You don't have that much of an investigation without something coming out on the surface.
Yeah, I was going to say, something will naturally pop up, which means you're going to be getting charged or whatever, which means immediate jail time. And when I mean disappear, he's going into a cell and he's never coming out again. Well, goes into a cell, serves his time, and then disappears into probably one of his 60 houses that he owns.
Farage was given a deadline of 1 p.m. on Tuesday to respond to The Guardian about this article. He gave a video address at 2 p.m. announcing he would force a by-election in his seat in Clacton-on-Sea. The attempt to shake off the deeply scandal over his financial appearance to have backfired on Tuesday night as the Conservatives, Labour, Green Party, Restore Britain, and fucking even Restore aren't contesting the by-election. And Rupert Lowe hates Nigel Farage. Rupert Lowe got kicked out of Restore Reform because of Nigel's best mate, Yusuf. Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's be fair about this. Nigel and Yusuf are good mates. Yeah? And Rupert Lowe was his boy. He was part of the group. Him getting kicked out and going even further right wing is hysterical from my point of view. You know, if Restore Britain isn't joining the bandwagon, you know you are fucked up. The man who wants to see you bleed out in the street. It'd be like me and you, like I fucked your wife kind of style feud. Because we know that that's a bridge me and you have never crossed. We don't sleep with each other's women. It's just something we won't do. So hypothetically, we make it as podcasters and you found out I fucked your wife. That kind of level of street fight is what Rupert Lowe and Nigel Farage are in. There won't be peace between those two. It doesn't exist. It does not exist.
You would end up losing the limb.
Do you know? No, it'd be more than that. I'm sure it'd be fucking getting a pair of guns.
You'll be the stubborn bastard which will hang on despite the fact of me chopping your arm off or something. You'll probably pick the arm up and try to beat me with it.
I'm trying to give an emphasization towards the public of how serious the feud between Rupert Lowe and Nigel Farage is.
It's ending.
It's an ending thing. And Rupert Lowe's party will end Reform. Restore will end Reform. I'm almost certain of it. I hope that Keir Starmer, who I like her as a politician,
absorbs
the conservative centrists and moves away from the xenophobic right because of how damaging it's been.
Nigel goes, the more right centrists...
The psychopaths join Restore.
The right centralists go to Keir Starmer and the cuckoo ones go to Restore. And
the problem is they will never, in a first pass, even in a representative democracy, Chris, Restore will never vote more than 6 or 7% of our population. They would in a representative democracy, they would only have about 8 or 10 MPs totally, because of how batshit fucking crazy their politics is.
But then there'd be a nice little constant reminder that's where we're not going.
Exactly. And I fundamentally feel that we need to have those kind of conversations. Like these two people, Rupert Lowe and Nigel Farage, that's how much they hate each other. Do you know? Every time you look at your son and see my fucking squinty eye in him, you'd want to stab me. Kind of conversation. Do you know? I mean, it's that level of rage that a man can. I do this on a man level, so you understand, so the public understands, as I meant the conversation of the feud between Rupert Lowe and fucking Nigel Farage. It is serious fucking political stuff. They would happily stab each other politically.
Do it.
I love that kind of fight.
End each other. For God's sake.
I genuinely love that kind of fight. I think that Rupert Lowe and Nigel Farage's broken bromance is fantastic because they were thick as thieves. It was because of the and I don't even like the Muslim person of Reform. I think he's a fucking traitor to my religion. I think he's munafik. I will say this now. There is a religious word for him, munafik, hypocrite. Yusuf is a munafik. He is about as far away
from Mayor of London, isn't it?
No. Yusuf is the spokesperson for Reform, Chris.
Okay.
He's the Muslim insider for Reform. He's a munafik. There is no other word for him, Islamically speaking. He is the scum of the earth. I have nothing but absolute disgust for him. And many Muslims would agree with me. But I fundamentally find his presence is one that deeply aggravates me. But because of his closeness with Nigel and Rupert Lowe had this fight that then gave birth to Restore. And Restore is on the crazy side of conservatism. Like, we're talking pure barefaced xenophobia. They want mass remigration. They want to send millions and millions of Britons out of the country.
It'd be the end of the UK.
Of course it would. Me and you both know this. From an economical, even from a population point of view. The brown people are having the babies needed for me and you to build businesses.
And they're British babies.
Yeah, and they're British babies. They are born on this fucking soil. They are British. So if we're going to talk racist language, the brown people are having babies that are helping our population not absolutely collapse because of the rotten black hole on housing, because of the cost of living, because 30-year-olds can't move out of their houses. Let's put this where it is. The migrants we have are stabilising our nation. We need to have that conversation.
And for the ones that are like, but then the brown people are going to take over the UK. Then
they're not. They're not. The white population, Chris, is still 78% of the population.
I'm literally just to say it straight. If you're worried that it's going to become a more coloured skin UK, then us white people need to get off our asses and breed more.
And then we need housing for that. The population of England...
But I know for a fact you do need housing for that.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. According to the 2021 census, Chris, England and Wales was 59.6 million white people. 81% of the country is white.
It's about standard for the UK, isn't it?
It's fucking absurd. People from Asian ethnic groups made up the second largest percentage of the population, 9.3, followed by blacks, 4%, mixed, 2.9, and other ethnic groups, 20 points. The mixed thing is the one that's growing. And this is what pisses me off. The 2.9 is the fastest growing ethnic group in the country. Not the Asians, not our Bengalis and Pakistanis, as many of the British fucking nationalists say.
Is that's cool.
Half blacks, half Bengalis, half Pakistani.
The ones that are
two different ethnic groups of part families, yeah. They are the fastest growing group in the country, which is fantastic.
I would say, and they're the fastest growing group everywhere.
No, they're not.
Within the Western world?
No.
No?
No, oh God, no. In France...
That surprised me.
In France, I think the fastest growing group is actually one of the ethnic groups. I think it's Africans. It is southern France is the fastest growing part of it, which is African. In Germany, it's Arabic. Or it's Turkish. I'm not sure about the German ones. But ours mixed is one of the fastest growing in Europe. In terms of our ethnic groups. And the reason that Britain's white population is declining is we do not have the homes and the houses to allow kids to be born in safe, secure environments. 20-year-olds do not have the money or financial means to get a house and start making children. They don't. They just don't. They don't have it. Mine and your father, our fathers, on the kind of work me and you do, because we're working in, you're slightly below your father. Your father was an engineer. My father was a business owner. We are half a step down below our dads, which is probably our fault. You know, it is what it is. But my father owned multiple chip shops. Your father was a master engineer. Do you know what I'm saying? So we're not at their level yet. Yeah, let's be fair about this. We're not.
Dad was at the top of his field.
Yeah. My father owned 5 or 6 actual chip shops. Could buy a house in London in the 90s. I consider that pretty good middle class. I consider myself financially outside the middle class. I wish I wasn't. I am. I don't have the money at the moment to consider myself middle class like my father was. You are just about in the squeak because of the fucking cost of living. We know this. You're just about getting your house sorted. You're still in middle class, but it's a fucking squeeze on your ass. I know this. You told me. You've shown me multiple times. The financial squeeze is unpleasant. The main factors is me and you don't have kids. I mean, that's to everyone. We don't have kids. We don't have the money. And I know that pisses both of us off, Chris. We really does.
If I had kids, I'd be on the benefits.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to admit it, because of the fact that the cost of having kids is astronomical.
And until we make it as podcasters, and we are going to make it as podcasters, the reality is we can't afford children.
Not based on the values that we want to build.
No.
The way me and you could have kids is if we were to turn around and have a partner which is making
as much as me,
on a similar level to what we are,
yeah,
to what we're earning, which is above 25,000. I'm not going to say the precise amount we each earn, but I know it's above 25,000. I know that's on the higher end of the lower income as well.
For me, it's above 30, and I know you're above me. Mine's just over 30. And I'd need my partner, for me to look after 2 kids, I'd need my partner to be earning at least 30 grand.
You need at least 60k for it.
Yeah, 60k, absolutely.
In this current economic crisis,
you need 60 grand in a household. And I know I alone don't make 60 grand. And I know you fucking don't. And you're further up that table than I am. What I'm trying to get at is these are the key factors on why we're not having white babies. The 40-year-olds...
If I earned 60k, I could guarantee you I'd have a kid and a half and a kid and a bigger house by now.
Of course, absolutely. If me and you were on 60 grand, Chris, we'd be in the top fucking 5% of the country. That's what people don't understand. 60 grand isn't actually that wealthy. It's only the upper middle class. That's the absurd point of view. The financial living standards, it's only the upper middle class, 60 grand. And it's the top 5% of the country.
Upper class, that's a extremely...
No. Anybody who claims they're upper class, they're millionaires. Everybody in today's upper class are millionaires.
No, the upper middle class is a nice car on a driveway with a nice house. Yeah? I know for a fact if you want extremely nice car with an extremely nice house, you are a millionaire.
Yeah, of course.
But most these days, it's either you got the balance of a nice car, nice house, or extremely nice house.
My apology. Chris, we would be in the top 14% of the country.
For what, 60?
60k.
But that's what people are aiming for.
And the problem being is that's roughly how much it would cost to comfortably, a household comfortably. Now that's those individual earnings. If me and you were earning 60 grand, we could afford our partners to have part-time jobs. They'd still need jobs. That's the fucking crazy. 60 grand isn't enough to raise a family by themselves. Me and Chris couldn't have the traditional marriage. The wife stays at home and looks after the kids.
For us to do that, we need 100k plus.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. You'd need 120 grand in this country's economy to be able to say your wife can stay with the family. And that's if you only want, you only want 2. I don't.
I want 2/3.
I want a fucking army.
You want a football fucking team.
I want a 5-a-side team. And for the amount of kids I want, the reality is we've got to be punching more than 150 grand. The top 10% threshold of the country is over 67. You don't get to the 10% until you're 67. So like 60 is 14%, yeah? The top 10% threshold is 67 grand. That's nothing, Chris.
That's literally that's the high levels within companies. Or
No, that's area manager pay.
Yeah, that's what I mean, high level in companies.
Problem being is that aren't that many people. No. It's our area manager upwards.
And I know for a fact within the company I worked in, they cut down the area managers, so they're managing bigger areas, which means that position's even fewer.
I know, it's mad. It's fucking mad, mate.
That means you'd have to be an area manager at McDonald's to get to the area.
The average base salary of an area manager is 77 grand. But their ground actual entry level, the amount of ground they cover now, is 22% larger than they did 10 years ago. So an area manager is controlling a shit ton more fucking ground than he used to. Like entry level area manager is 47 grand, 40 to 62 grand, roughly that region, yeah? Mid level is, it moves up to 48 to 50. Senior top earning area managers, 87 grand plus.
Yeah, senior
area managers.
That's what's that? 10 years plus.
Yeah. The people you parachute in when an area is failing, basically. Yeah. It's like, Christopher, you've been an area manager 10 years. I need you to save the Midwest of Britain. It's failing on all levels. You're parachuted in. You're paid 90 grand to fix an area that's failing on every level. Half the managers you're probably going to fire. Putting the other half of managers on probation kind of period.
You're going, all right, so I'm doing an independent review of all my management team to start off with.
And my 4 worst stores, get your P45 ready. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the level of fuckery you have to be in as a parachute area manager.
That's to get over 90k. That's a lot of work for 90k.
Yeah. And those areas now, like the average area of the UK, to use Sainsbury's as an example, an area manager of Sainsbury's will be holding between 60 to 90 stores.
Fuck. Fuck. No wonder why you don't see them at the store that often. They got a cover. They're probably sat at home on the laptop just zombie fucker. How many figures?
Yeah, it's fucking mad. Mad, mate. Mad levels of... Oh, no, my apologies. No, that's America. That was Walmart. Wrong category. wrong category. That's an American company. No. The British area for Sainsbury's is 25. I read wrong stats. My apologies. 25.
Okay, that's more manageable. Fucking 60 stores. I'm like thinking, you're fucking running half the country or something.
Oh, wrong stats. So we've got America and the British stats here. Walmart, it's 60 to 90 per region.
But fucking think how big those regions are.
Huge. They're multi-state.
Oh.
Remember, America's a lot bigger than us.
Yeah, but you would think then, hang on, this one state has about 20 stores. That's one area manager. Another state, another
No.
Manager.
Their area managers now carry 2 to 3 states.
I'll be going, you want me to cover 2 to 3 dates? I want 2 to 3 times the pay.
Nope, you get 90 grand and a company car. You don't pay for your own petrol though.
Oh, the travel's basically covered for. Okay, that's
Chris, you will be on the road for 60 hours. You will be out of house 60 hours a day, a week.
I'll be thinking, okay, own car, yeah, not too
Don't pay
bad.
petrol.
Don't pay petrol. So basically, my travel expenses covered. What type of car is it? If they turn and say, "Oh, it's a beat up Honda Civic," fuck off.
No, it'll be a stock car. It won't be an expensive one, but it won't be a cheap one. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's not yours. It's the company.
Give me a Merc and I'll be fine.
But you'd be on the road for 60 hours a week.
Give me a Tesla, self-driving.
Fucking Jesus. Fucking, just looking at these American stats is horrific. Walmart has one of the highest burnout rates for their area managers.
I'm not surprised with fucking 60 stores.
No, Chris, that's the low-end area manager.
That's what I mean. Low end of 60 stores, I wonder who the fuck's getting to 90. I'll be hiring sub-area managers.
They do. State managers. They have state managers, then area managers, then their regional managers are the southwest, the southeast. Their regions are whole geographical areas of America.
Hey, but now you've got your underbodies going out and doing majority of footwork. So you're probably only out and about on the road probably like 2-3 days of the week, and the rest is sat in the office.
Yeah, but you've got to put the 60-hour a weeks in for probably 5, maybe even 6 years if you've got your tongue up the fucking director's arse. Or that's a 10 to 12 year doing 60 hours a week. Do you think Christopher has 60-hour weeks for 10 years? For only 90k?
No. I'll be balanced myself at the point where I'm getting close to 60k on a 40-hour a week.
I don't even know if that's possible in standard working environment, whether you can actually earn.
There is a way.
Yeah.
But then enter a company. Well, not being hired by a company.
Yeah.
Owning your own company.
Owning your own company, that's possible. But I don't think 60 grand is a financially viable option in the UK when it comes to any kind of job that's under 40 hours. I don't think 40 hours and 60 grand, they just don't exist. My store manager, I think he earns under 50 grand and he does a fuckload more than 60 hours. Like an unbelievable level of fucking 60 hours. And many of my actual standing managers probably do more than 40 hours a week.
I know I used to do more than 40 hours a week at Mackey's.
Yeah.
But then I was already paid, so I was getting paid for every single bit of that.
Yeah, but then Chris, like your workers like me, I was doing more than 40 fucking hours on that. Zero-hour contracts, I never saw them as being bad. I know many people don't like this.
I wasn't on the zero contract.
I was.
Yeah, because you was a standing employee. I was manager.
The beautiful thing I liked about that was because I know that if I wanted more hours, I'd just ask you and I'd get them. Like, I'm bored. Is anything going on tonight, Chris? Yeah, I've got short staffed. I'm on my way. And 9 times out of 10, I didn't even need to ask. I'd get a phone call. John, come in. You're only playing video games.
Come earn some money.
I'm like, can't be asked. I've got to go pop into the shop. I'll give you a lift. Okay. Jump in your car, sort out my small 5-minute job in fucking Stroud, driven to work. How many fucking shifts did I do that? I've got something to do this afternoon. That's cool. I'll give you a lift. You don't have to push bike. Before I owned the motorbike. Once I owned the motorbike, you were so relieved. Fuck off. Drive yourself.
Yep.
It was like, you got a fucking wheels now. Fuck off. I've got other burdens. I need to look around the store. Stuff. Oh, fucking hell. We've been going on for a while.
Yeah.
I think we'll call that. I think that is definitely.
Just before we call that.
Yep.
Who actually are the nominations for Chancellor within Burnham's?
The outside, I don't think Ed Miliband's going to get it. I think
I know Miliband's in it. Mahmood's in it.
No. Ed Miliband's not going to get it.
No, I should say he's on the table. Whether he gets it is extremely unlikely. Mahmood's on it. Is Rayner on it?
I don't know.
I want to know the person who's going to be in charge of our lovely finances.
Yeah, your next enemy.
My next critique.
Who's the likely next Chancellor? Who's the front runner to be the next UK Chancellor? So we've got Shabu Mamoon is believed to be the favourite. Ed Miliband's on the list. Yate Cooper. West Steering. I can't stand that slimy little fuckwit. A former contender for the Labour leadership, was the earliest favourite for Chancellor, with suggestions that he could be awarded the job for coming out and backing Burnham and withdrawing his own ambitions. However, economist and crossbench peer law Jimmy O'Neill, who has been provided advice to Burnham, has warned against this approach. Lord O'Neill told the BBC, the advice he has given Burnham is to figure out what his priorities are as a Prime Minister before he picks his Chancellor. Pat McFadden, I don't even know who Pat McFadden is. Rachel Reeves. It looks increasingly unlikely that the current Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, will keep her job. Good. Mahmood is probably the front runner, Chris, to be honest. I think Shabib Mahmood. The current Home Secretary becoming the Chancellor. The BBC has been told that there are live discussions about putting Mahmood in number 11, whilst the Financial Times reported it is a certain based on their 3 sources close to Burnham. While she does not have an economical background, she is a senior minister on Labour's right, and it may be felt that she could reassess the financial markets and smooth the transition to Birmingham's government.
I see West Streeting's in the list.
Ugh, I fucking despise him.
Yeti Cooper.
She was an old party leader, and she's currently the Foreign Secretary. She could be a surprising compromise pick and is seen as a potential for Chancellor. She has years of experience in government, serves as Chief Secretary to the Treasury under Gordon Brown, and sits somewhere in between Miliband and McFadden or steerings politically. Danny Hewson, head of the financial analysis of financial service firm AG Bells, calls her the middle of the road option, but also a bit more of an unknown. I don't want Ed Miliband. I don't want West Steering. Your opinion?
Definitely not Miliband.
Yeah, no, I think Miliband is.
Mahmood seems to be the top candidate.
Yes, she does.
Yeah. If she sticks the same amount of effort into what she's done elsewhere, I reckon she could do well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miliband, absolutely not. He's going to ruin the ship. I see Yeti Cooper for some reason as being the underdog.
But the problem is that Mahamoon wants to stay as the Home Secretary. There's talks that she wants to stay in her current job.
Yeti Cooper could be the silent underdog.
I just think because she's the middle of the road.
Yeah, but then that could be exactly what you need. Someone that will keep everything balanced and working towards the general public's favour. Because sometimes the middle of the road option means that she'll turn around and she'll bring everything back into balance. She's middle of the road, she's going to think, well, I want balance. Balance
you might have an argument there. If Mahmood gets to keep her original job, if she can say to Burnham, I'll support you, I'll help you, but I want to stay Home Secretary, she might keep her job, at which point Yate Cooper might end up as the Prime. We'll find out tomorrow. We're going to find out tomorrow.
Pat McFadden, apparently, is supposed to...
Yeah, he's a Keir loyalist. I can't see that. Burnham knifed his boss. Burnham knifed his boss badly. He's a hardcore Keir Starmer supporter.
Current Work and Pension Secretary.
Yeah, I don't see that. Him and Rachel Reeves, I think, are going for the door. There's no guarantee Rachel Reeves will even get another job.
I thought she's going to go somewhere else within the party.
I don't know. I hope she fucking retires to the backbench, personally. Taxing cunt.
Before we go as well, England. Where was
that fucking 6-4 with Argentina?
That lovely performance with France. Where was
What the fuck? I mean, I know shooing the French in is our British fucking tradition, and we love it. We really love it. But Argentina needed that.
I would say we shoot Argentina in with the freaking Falkland War. Why can't we do it again in the World Cup?
Just madness. Fucking madness. That French fight was epic to watch.
I say 6-4.
That was a blowout. That was knock the French out moment.
That was a goal fest of high entertainment.
Absolutely. Spain, we're waiting for it. Yeah, Spain, you owe Europe this. You owe the fucking shoeing to Argentina. Yeah, I wish you Spanish the absolute best. Kick the Argentinians right in the fucking daddy bags. And I mean that. And I mean that to the bottom of my soul. You Argentinian cunts can kiss my ass.
I'm sorry.
With all of your corruption.
I think the only way the Spain's going to win is if they take out Messi.
They don't need to take out Messi. What they need to do is attack. The Spanish team need to lay in the beat. Don't do what England did. Don't score one and go into defensive. No, they need to fucking hammer. Because the Argentinians have a shit defence line.
Look at what England done, and that's what they need to do.
But we won almost 2/3 of that fucking match. We were dominating non-stop. And then we score one goal and go back to the fucking defensive. The fucking manager...
No. We was doing well in that match. We went 1-0 up. We was holding strong.
Chris, we went defensive after we scored our goal.
But we're still holding strong.
No, I don't agree with that. No. I think we should have gone 2-0. We should have fucking hammered it.
I agree we should have scored another one. But even after one goal, we was holding strong. We collapsed as soon as Argentina equalised. Within that last 10 minutes, I saw it. As soon as Argentina's equalised, we folded like butter.
We should have hammered home two goals. We should have played our strengths. We didn't. And the reason that I feel that is the manager called the British team to go defensive after we scored our 1-0.
No, I would have pushed. I agree with you. I would have pushed. I would hammer it.
And don't stop, because this is Argentina. They don't have a strong defence line. And that's my advice to the Spaniards. Beat them straight in the daddy bag. Kick them so hard.
That's how you eliminate Messi. Keep on the attack. Neutralise their attack force and just keep pounding those goals in the back of the net. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm in the sweepstake at work and I've got Argentina as my sweepstake.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, bear in mind this was all completely random generated by an app, so I didn't pick Argentina. Oh. It was done randomly to make sure no one was it was fairly distributed through the people that had done it.
Spain, I am so rooting for you right now.
At the moment, I'm quid sink, so I either get my money back or I win 40 quid. So
I fundamentally want the Spanish to win so much. It's unreal. Anyway, it's been a great session talking about Andy Burnham and the British incoming government.
And several diversions off.
We've had a couple of off the nose. I am, as always, John, Sean, or Yucca, depends on who you're asking.
I'm Chris, hope you have a smashing day.
And this is the Blue Collar Workers, where politics matters to you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.